They keep sending me big guys here. We had Jeffery Simmons and now JC Latham. How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. Excited to be here.
I'm surprised the hat fits your head, dude.
Yeah,
That's fucking amazing. That's amazing. That's cool. You see
also.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You feel cool out there in camp, probably.
Yeah.
Like the hair on your ears and your neck, man. When you get a good haircut.
It took a while to get used to it. Every time I put my helmet on, I kind of, because when you have dreads, you kind of got to put it to the back. So whenever I had a helmet on, after I got my haircut, I keep trying to do that, and I had to realize I don't got hair no more. So
looks good, man. And Coach was saying you lost some weight this offseason.
Yeah, definitely.
Been honing in on the nutrition and all that stuff. So
yes, sir. 100%.
That's awesome, man. I mean, and also I just want to say, as a guy who preferred playing left end, I totally understand the difference between left and right tackle.
100%.
And when I used to, and I'm not saying you didn't look good at left tackle, but when I'd go over to right end, I felt sometimes like totally out of whack.
Yeah.
How much better do you feel at right tackle? And how you were training with Dan Moore, and then he calls you, he's like, "Hey, I'm coming out there."
Yeah, that was a funny time. So first talking about the position change.
Yeah.
When Dan got the call, I think I known him for about literally like a week or two.
Yeah.
And, it's a whole bunch of guys there, Rashad Slater, Peter Skronsky, everybody's there. So, I'm trying to, Cesar Ruiz, so I'm trying to really like communicate with the guys, pick their brains. Trey Smith, he just got off, the Super Bowl loss to the Eagles. So it was just picking everybody's brains about how their seasons were and the successes and, things that they wish they would have done differently, especially going into year two. And then, I was rocking with Dan. He was more of an outgoing person, always had a smile on his face, really cool dude. And, one day he just wasn't there. So I was kind of like, make sure he was all good. And that's when they're like, oh, yeah, he's actually, taking a visit to Tennessee to see if it's a fit and, see if he gets a contract. And then 2 days later, he shows up. He's like, yeah, I'm coming over there. So he's like, yeah, so you're going to play right now. So I was like, okay, well, finding out from him was pretty funny. It kind of sparked our relationship, so we started talking and hanging out a lot more. But yeah, I mean, playing right, it was kind of like riding a bike again, especially having so much experience from college, especially at that level at Alabama, going against those guys. I mean, it took me a little bit to get into the groove of things, because obviously playing left from when I got drafted back in April, starting in May when we started OTAs all the way till January, playing left, you kind of everything is wired that way, and then so having to go back to right wasn't as easy a transition. But like I said, if you don't ride a bike for a whole year, as soon as you hop back on, it kind of just everything starts to flow. Now playing with Coach Bill, he has an immense repertoire of things that he wants you to do. So the mechanics and the movements were something I was trying to get used to, but the feel of it was there still. So, and then obviously just honing in on my skills this offseason.
Bill's a legend in the O-line game.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm going out to see Bertha and Olga after this.
Man, that's a beast right there.
Yeah.
And actually in Dallas, they have one similar, and it's like it's not as tilted. So I remember pushing it for the first time, and I messed up, and everybody's like, "Oh, you do this all the time over there in Tennessee?" I'm like, "Nah, the one over there is not the same. The one over there is hunched over. You got to get underneath it to drive it." So
this one's a little easier.
Yeah, so
I got a shot.
I
might do my back out there. So I'm hoping I get workers' comp or something. So back to the diet thing. Are you a pescatarian? Did I hear that?
Well, I didn't transition fully, but originally when I got on the diet, it was pescatarian, basically, like a whole bunch of fish.
This shit gets old though.
It does, but I mean, my chef was amazing.
Chef.
Yeah, so he, shout out Connor, because he did such a great job at keeping everything fresh. Halibut, trout, salmon, whatever it might be. Finding new ways to be creative with it. I know one thing that I didn't like sweet potatoes before, and the first meal he made for me had sweet potatoes in it, and it was amazing. And I knew, I was like, okay, I can rock with this. And then he even took it to the next step to make me like a protein bowl with like a lot of sweet potatoes in it. I'm like, all right, I know you can make it good, but I don't know if I'm like that much sweet potatoes. And even then, like, it was off the chain.
You were sleeping on sweet potatoes, bro.
Right. I was. I mean, it was never like, I guess, I don't know, maybe it was the fast food chain or whatever, wherever I was at when I tried it, like the sweet potato fries, I never liked it. I never did.
Good ones.
Right. But when he made the sweet potatoes, just like whatever it might be, how he made it, I mean, it blew me away. And and then he also made something called smashed cauliflower. It's kind of like it's a texture of smashed potatoes, but potatoes, but only cauliflower, so it's a lot healthier for you. So Yeah, I mean, he's so creative, and he makes healthy kind of fun and enjoyable a lot. So I love him, and I
I
love
need his
working with him.
card,
So
man. I need
yeah,
a
he
chef.
just opened up his
Okay.
Instagram, so I gotta.
All right, shout out.
Yeah.
So you're also a dude that you don't wear gloves, do you?
I did now, but I didn't before.
You didn't before.
Yeah.
What? Because to me, I'm always like, yo, that's psycho shit, dude. Like this guy, I'm like, this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
Like when I see a guy's not wearing gloves, I'm like, man, that's he might be a sicko. like what changed for you where you were like, I got to get some gloves?
Yeah. So for one, in college, it was kind of just me covering a guy up, and just once I got my hands on him, it was pretty much over with. So it wasn't a lot of hand fights and counters and everything there. In the NFL, with the level of talent that obviously have risen, it required me to use my hands a lot more.
Yeah.
And then if you're using your hands a lot more chance for things to get scratched or cut or bruised, whatever it might be. Yeah. And I remember we joint practice with the Seahawks, and up until this point, I didn't wear gloves. And I remember I went to strike somebody, and my hand got just completely cut up down the middle of my finger, and it was pretty bad. I like bending it started to hurt.
Yeah.
So then they were like, "So you got to wear gloves." Things like this. Yeah, so I started wearing gloves then. I feel good though. Whenever it rains, I use it as my excuse to take the gloves off.
That's the only time it sucks.
Yeah,
is when it's raining. What do you think's the hardest thing about learning to use your hands at the pro level?
I just think we have a drill for it, so we call it catch the fly. I think, with guys are moving so fast, you have to have not only the hand speed, but the anticipation, and also just the gauge of knowing, where your strike distance is to be able to, strike a guy and land it. And, against speed rushers, extremely hard because, since they're a speed rusher, they don't want to be touched.
Yeah.
So, you're not really going to get a knockout blow if you try to punch them, but a guy who, rushes with power, you can get that knockout blow. So, gauging your punches, knowing that if you're going against a speed guy, you might not get that kill shot on him. So you might have to hit him one time and then refit and keep going and play like there. If it's a power guy, knowing that you have to time it up just right to stop his power, because if you throw too late, you might get a little pushback in the pocket. So just the different, moves and mechanics that you can do with hand flow in it, and especially so.
Have you had a welcome to the NFL moment yet?
I say I had a couple.
It's usually a couple. I remember having a couple.
One of them, I remember, it was against Jeff, but it was against AK, but Jeff kind of caused it. So in college, like, you didn't see a lot of stunts in college. Some teams, like Georgia, LSU, whatever it might be, they might, have a more, but it was never to the degree like where you had to. I mean, you watch it and you can pick it up just like that.
Yeah, they're easy stunts.
Exactly. In the NFL, it's a plethora of things that teams do. Some teams like to blitz and bluff, whatever it might be. Some teams like to have designated blitzers, designated pressures, especially in certain areas. So you really got to hone into all of that. But coming from college, like I said, whenever it was a wide three, it was a high chance of a stunt.
Yeah.
So I would drag hand and pick up the TE and boom, stunts over.
Yeah.
My coach would tell me all the time, Bill, he was like, man, don't drag hand, because not only does it slow you down, you just worry about getting on the end and the guard will snap it off. And me being a rookie, thinking I knew what was coming, I dragged hand and Jeff grabbed my arm and pulled it towards him, and AK just rushed straight up the field. And
that's such a good trick.
That's what I said. It was a really smart move, because I was leaving it out there. And so that was kind of my, welcome to NFL.
Don't fall for the coffee house. The coffee house. The coffee house technique.
They drop and then act like they dropped, and then they blitz.
Or the game where Jalen Carter did it in Philly at the end of the playoff game, where you look up and all of a sudden you think they're running games, and he just
goes right at you. Yeah.
All right. So last thing, one word answer. Cam Ward's personality in one word.
Ooh, in one word, I'd probably have to say influential. That's probably the best word that I can describe it. Influential, for sure.
That's damn good. It's good to be influential. You got to be a leader.
100%.
Hey, have a great year, man. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Pleasure being here.